Hi, I'm Jed May,
And I'm Nathan Burke.
and we're going to tell you guys all about the greatest Georgia basketball game that you've never heard of. So we were heading to the SEC basketball tournament a few weeks ago, and because it's a long car ride and I get bored on long car rides, I was just flipping through the Georgia media guide for fun. Not for fun, to pass the time. And I saw this record that said the largest margin of victory for Georgia was 120 points. They won 122-2 against Southeastern Christian in 1917-1918. So naturally, a basketball program like Georgia beats somebody by 120 points. You're like, wow, how could that possibly have happened? So we kind of just decided on the way up there, once we get back, we're going to have to ask somebody about this game and see if there's any sort of story behind it.
The game was originally scheduled to be against the Spartanburg YMCA, but unfortunately, on the day they were supposed to play, there was a really horrible snowstorm, and the conditions were too bad for the people from the Spartanburg YMCA to get down to Georgia. So the team still wanted to play a game, so they sent a message out to Southeastern Christian College, and that team just happened to be able to go, so they came up and they decided to get the game in.
In this game, a player by the name of Alfred Witherspoon Scott put up 62 points, which would be, a UGA school record. But it's not officially recognized because in the older Georgia basketball media guides, they had a report of him scoring 66 points. So it's not sort of officially recognized by the school at this point.
In order to start our research, since the game happened almost 100 years ago, we had to figure out if it actually happened.
Call number for the microfilm of every single issue of the Red and Black between 1910 and 1920. So we're gonna go see what we can find. We're going to the basement of the main library, the depths that no student has ever passed into.
Going to get confirmation on the amount of points that Alfred Scott scored. That's the ideal.
Okay, here's 9.
Right. 1915 through 1923. Okay, I think this should be good, right?
I can show y'all where the readers are, and I'll actually get some from copies.
All right, we gotta find anything we can about the basketball team from this era. According to this article we found from a 1917 edition of the Red and Black, he initially gained fame by being able to shoot basketballs while lying down.
The last year's basketball team met last week and unanimously elected Alfred Scott captain. This announcement was hailed with delight by every Georgia student and alumni. There it is, right there. Georgia Southeastern Christian College.
Points scored, Scott 62.
Yep, right there. So basically, he was Yonte Mate before Yonte Mate. And he's just like the greatest Georgia basketball player that no one's ever heard of.
What I wish they would do is, like it just says here, at the last minute a game was arranged with Christian College
Mm-hmm.
for the open date, but where did they come from? And who is this mysterious Christian College?
But everywhere else is Southeast Christian College. Southeastern Christian College.
So did y'all look up what Southeastern Christian College is?
We tried, and we found nothing. So there's one place that's in Kentucky, that's Southeastern Christian College, but we don't think that's them just because if you had to arrange a game at the last minute, they're probably not coming all the way from Kentucky. I wouldn't think.
Slow and steady.
We are going to Auburn, Georgia, because that's where the mythical Southeastern Christian College was at some point. I called a guy or emailed a guy from Sandersville, Georgia, which is where I thought it was, and he called back and let me know that it was in Auburn, Georgia, instead of Sandersville, like I thought. So, and now we're off. This, we're thinking, used to be the dormitory of Southeastern Christian College. Once the college closed, they tore down the main building and the guys' dormitory, I guess. But this building was bought by a manufacturing company, and it says property of City of Auburn now, but regardless, it still stands. So there's the girls' dormitory. And then just around the corner here, we have a parking lot for Auburn Elementary School. And we have Auburn Elementary School, and we're thinking that street right there is College Street. So that reasonably suggests that this was sort of like the main campus of Southeastern Christian College. It was likely, you know, the main building and the guys doing, it was only 98 students, probably only had one building, I'm imagining. So probably the main building over there, maybe guys' dormitory in the parking lot right here. And yeah, and now it's an elementary school. So sold in 1915 to Christian Church, and it was Southeastern Christian College until 1924. So yeah. And the administrative building became Auburn Consolidated School, which was torn down in 1958, and only the girls' dormitory remains, which we're assuming is that building over there.
All right, everybody say bye, Southeastern Christian College.
Bye, Southeastern Christian College.
So after Alfred Scott graduated from Georgia and then eventually went on to get his PhD at Princeton, he returned to the University of Georgia to become the chemistry head here. He was the second chemistry head in the department's history, first one who got his undergraduate degree from Georgia, and he maintained that post for 35 years, which is the second longest anyone has ever been a chemistry head. And he kind of built the program up from the ground up, really. Before he got there, there had never been more than 4 members of the chemistry department. He got it up to around 16 by the time he was done, so did a lot of good things for the chemistry department.
So apparently during the time frame of this game in 1918, the basketball team actually played in Memorial Hall. It was originally built in 1911 as like a recreational place, and then it didn't become like Memorial Hall until after World War I was over. But the basketball team played here from 1911 to 1919, I think. So we're going in here to see if we can find where they played. Here we are. This is where, in 1918, Georgia defeated Southeastern Christian College 122-2 in this very room on that very, not that very floor, but down there.
The place where that floor is now.
This is where the fans would stand. The baskets were attached to the bottom of the balconies, and the players would shoot up, into from the floor, with the fans kind of looking down on them from up here.
Well, right now we're headed to the UGA architecture office. We're looking for either blueprints or hopefully live photos of Memorial Hall when it was first built. At that point, it was serving its purpose as a gymnasium/pool for UGA athletics. So, hoping we're finding what we need.
Trying to gather.
Right here, actually.
And I mean, having these blueprints is going to be able to make it easier to sort of paint a picture of what an experience, like a game time experience, might be like inside this building. So
Yeah. We have got the plans. These are the plans from when then called Alumni Hall was originally built back in 1910.
We are in the red and black office, conference room. These are all of the original floor plans for Alumni Hall, and we're just sort of trying to figure out how the current modern day Memorial Hall plans, which are these, line up with the original Alumni Hall plans.
So point to me, what's ballroom, what's gymnasium?
This is gymnasium, this is ballroom.
So if you're walking in the main entrance for the pillars, which way are you walking in?
You would have come in this way. This is that main entrance with the stairs and where like that quad area where the student gate is. And then you come in. This is now reception desk, and then you walk straight into the ballroom, which you can kind of see here is where that main entrance is and reception desk.
What we're looking for right now is the dimensions of the court, because when we went in there today, the dimensions of like from all the wood that's in there, dimensions didn't match up what a current basketball court is. But before the 1920s, a basketball court was basically, whatever would fit your gym.
So cool.
So go through that one more time and explain inches and feet to me.
Okay.
And why? And what are calculations? What we're trying to figure out with our calculations.
Okay, so assuming that these plans are drawn to scale, which they have a scale listed on them, it seems to be an incorrect scale. We don't really understand it very well. So we made our own scale. So we know one end of the building to the other is 88 feet. So we set 12.25 inches on the paper to 88 feet on the thing, right? So then on our plan, we just measured the length of the floor, which turns out to be 8 3/4, 8.75. And then all you have to do, using cross multiplication, is multiply 8.75 by 88, then divide it by 12.25 to find out what x is. And that comes out to almost 63 feet, which is close to the approximation that we had.
For what?
For the length of the floor.
For the length of the court. The width of the court is conveniently easily listed.
Yes. And that is not on this one, it's on this one. Conveniently listed. 52 feet and 2 inches.
So basically we're looking at a 63 by 52 court.
We are back on the front doorsteps of Memorial Hall. We're about to go inside and measure the ballroom floor to get a more accurate measurement of how long the basketball court might have been back in 1918. So, brought a trusty tape measure. We found this sort of change in wall from brick to flat white happens on both this side and that side. So now what we're going to do is measure out the distance, and we're hoping it's the same as our estimated length of 63 feet. All right, what do we got?
We're at 26 feet 8 inches.
Okay, so that's less than 2 feet off what we were expecting.
That's what 35 and 26 is 61 8.
Yep.
I didn't realize it was locked.
So, if the back wall of the gymnasium had been about 6 inches, since we were about a foot off on each side, then the measurement from the back wall here to the back wall on that side would have come out to be about exactly what we predicted. The change in the wall here is present on this side, not on that side. So our hypothesis is that entire side of the wall is new. So what we're going to do is we're going to measure the width from this side to that side, and we're going to see if that matches up to the width in the original floor plan for Alumni Hall.
What was the original width?
52 feet and 2 inches. This is interesting.
It's not.
This is 16.9.
So
Which
that's
would put us
50.
51.9. So that's likely human error.
Yeah,
It's probably exactly what it.
Yeah, we promise.
It's probably exactly what it was. So
So that extension over there, then.
Yeah. Yes, that part is new.
So the wood dimensions are what they were.
Yes.
So the wood's in all the same places that it was.
So we are in Oconee Hill Cemetery, which, for those unfamiliar with it, like I was until a week ago, is right next to Sanford Stadium. And we're kind of in the back half of it here, and this is the grave of Alfred W. Scott, the man who holds the Georgia school record for points in a game. I honestly don't remember how I found he was in Oconee Hill Cemetery. I guess I Googled it or something. And then once we got here, me and Berg started looking around. There's a website called findagrave.com, which directed us to Section H. And then you guys found the exact spot today, so. You know, the place he gave his entire life to, I guess. Athletically in the chemistry department, and you know, this is where he is now. So, you know, as you can see, this is obviously, you know, one of the greatest performances in Georgia history, both from, you know, the team itself winning by 120 points and from Alfred Scott, you know, with the school record 62 points. And it's kind of amazing to know that no one really at all knows about this. Like, even when we contacted Lawrence Smith, he didn't really know anything about this either.
Yeah, it's pretty incredible, you know, with the scores eye-popping as this. I mean, 122 points is a lot of points. I think that the 2 points scored by Southeastern Christian would have at least, you know, brought some attention to this.
Yeah, I mean, that's worthy of its own story in itself, the fact that they managed to get 2.
I hope you guys enjoyed this experience as much as we did. I'm Nathan Berg.
And I'm Jed May, and we'll see you guys next time.